What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Pickup Line. I'm one of your hosts, Ethan, and alongside me, Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah Vaughn and Melissa. Who's that? Things are different this week. Surprise, surprise.
I know, and I don't like change, Hannah.
I know. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
I need things the same all the time.
No, it's variety and it's good for us. It's good for you. Change is good. And we have an exciting episode today. We're going to talk about maintaining friendships while you're dating and a lot of things that go along with that. So if anyone's wondering why I'm not in the regular studio, I'm actually at home in California, visiting family, being safe. I'm here for lots of reasons. But anyway, I figured this would be a good opportunity to bring on a very, very special guest. But before we get into that, Ethan and I would like to invite anyone to call the number on the screen, 951-364-2430. If you want to ask any questions about sex, love, dating, relationships, it's not necessarily tied to the topic. If you want to talk about maintaining friendships and dating, you may. But we kind of just want to encourage more callers to just call in for whatever. If you want to cuss me out, we have a screener now, so good luck. But yeah, we
let them, like, we don't want them preparing for the screener. We want them like, oh, somebody actually answered.
Okay, we don't have a screener. Try me. Yeah. Well, without further ado, shall I introduce my very special guest?
I guess.
You guess. Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Well, okay. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to have someone on who watched me go through all of my ups and downs with dating from, I've known this person since I was 10 years old and they were 8. I did not always make really good decisions. So what better kind of input to bring on than the person who got to be on the other side of me making these mistakes as a friend. And, I think I did some things right. I'm getting better at it. I really am trying. So, this person also has a PhD. She has her she's going, no. She has her bachelor's in psychology. So she's actually more qualified to talk about this kind of stuff than Ethan and I are. So if you want to call in and ask her some dating advice, she's always been really good for me. Are you okay? And she has her bachelor's in philosophy too, just to kind of show her off a little bit. She's a smart cookie.
Philosophy.
Yeah, I could have her on the perspective or something, maybe recurring. Yeah, this is not her normal gig. She's actually not the most comfy in front of camera, so I had to bribe her with some cheese and wine and dinner. But anyway, I'm want to get into the show. This is my best friend of my entire life, Melissa.
We need a clap track, or what is that? Yeah, we need one of those.
She's here to roast me, basically, and talk about what a terrible friend I was.
Only the truth.
Only the truth, exactly. So, yeah. Missy, was I always a good friend to you?
No.
Have I gotten better?
Yes.
Okay, I really hope so.
Especially with this relationship with Thomas. I do like him. He's a good cookie.
He's a good cookie. So if he's watching.
I mean, I don't know him personally, but he seems like a good dude.
He's a likable guy.
I try only to work and surround myself with genuinely good people, and I think I've done that pretty good so far with this community, and it's been a lot of fun.
I'm a genuine good person.
I
try. Well, I mean, with that being said, one of the things I wanted to touch on was how important is it that your friends like the person you're dating? I don't know if you have any input on that, Ethan, but I think it's pretty important. I think you'd agree.
Yes. I don't like many of your exes. I don't like any of your exes.
Yeah, I don't think you've liked one.
Yeah,
one. And that's about it. But I don't know, Ethan, have you ever struggled with that or?
Okay, so I'm totally overprotective when it comes to my friends. In my own personal life, I won't do background checks on people like some others do. It's just whatever. I don't stalk their Facebook or social media. I just want to talk to them. But when it comes to my friends, My buddy Fitz describes it as I become Joe from You, where I'm just like tracking down who they are, making sure they're not like out there and nothing's gonna happen. And my buddy's like, I'll be like, okay, well, where are you going? I need the address. Like, I'm very, very protective over my friends.
Turn
So
into total dad mode.
I can't help it. Like, the people that are close to me get put in this Ethan bubble where it's like, if you screw with them, no, you just don't screw with them.
I think we have, like, people like you and me oftentimes have better, like, higher standards for the people that we love than for ourselves.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people do that. Yeah. I don't know.
That is a very common thing with people, is you tend to let things slide when it's yourself, but it's your friends, and you tend to just go, no, don't mess with my friends.
Yeah. Yeah. It's different from an outside perspective. Like, yeah. Especially like making the excuses thing, which I did a lot of. Who just said, Kaitlyn Beyond says, I sent my boyfriend a screenshot of Spice Girls. If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. And that's like something that I had that on a cassette tape when I was an infant. And I'm only just now realizing what words of wisdom that is from the Spice Girls. Like, if the person I'm seeing doesn't like Melissa, or Melissa doesn't approve, I value that way more now. And that's not something that I always did.
It's
throughout my
definitely
life.
taken time.
It's taken time.
It's taken time. Just, I did not like some of your exes.
No, at all.
I did go to a Spice Girls concert. It was so much fun. I love the Spice Girls. Like, I even own Spice World on VHS.
We need to rewatch that. Oh my God.
Tonight.
That would be a good atheist movie night, Spice World.
Spice World. It has aliens. It has all the things. Yeah, we could talk about that. But wait, does it? I haven't seen it since I was an infant. Okay, go ahead.
It is important that your friends do like your partner. However, I think it's important you can't go by that 100%, because there are occasionally those friends that just react negatively to any partner coming into your life, and therefore they're going to look for reasons not to like them. And in those scenarios, I wouldn't take their opinion as seriously because they don't like anybody. But then there are those friends that they are welcoming and loving, and it is important that my inner circle approves. Like, dude, I think I would even have to make my ex-wife approve of somebody I'm dating.
I kind of giggled at Melissa because I'm like, oh yeah, someone who doesn't like anyone. And I'm like, Missy, do you like most people? No. No, Melissa is a really good judge of character. So I typically trust her opinion. I think you can be pretty critical, but it matters though. Like, I don't know, if someone isn't genuine or just like isn't worth your time.
And honestly, I think that's because I've been screwed over so many times, especially in relationships and in like my friendships, that I've gotten to a point where it's just like, I'm not going to deal with it anymore.
She's got high standards for herself. And I think that's like, it's like sad, but good. Like, you kind of had to learn the hard way, but yeah, I wish I could have learned that sooner. I have kind of a joke, but it's actually serious. She picks friends for me. I don't make my own friends. When she like makes a friend that actually like continues to be in her life, I know that they're actually worthwhile, and I like adopt them and we all become friends. But I'm like,
girls' night are very fun.
Yeah, girls' nights are great. Like, you are a very, very good judge of character. So I know if that you're friends with someone, they're like actually worth sticking around. But I think the thing I struggled with most was how to prioritize my friendships. I mean, like, how to prioritize you when I was in relationships, especially like in my teen years, which, like, who cares? But at the same time, like, that is something that mattered because you had to kind of sit by and watch all this happen and be put on the back burner. I'm sorry, but it's like that. It is what happened. I felt like, and this is me making excuses, it's just kind of, in hindsight, I realized I felt like if I didn't prioritize a boyfriend or I'm out, by the way. I came out to my mom last night. Anyway, I've had girlfriends before. I can say that now. Perfect. It's like not a big deal at all. Like, she kind of figured. So I'm like, what? You couldn't tell? Or like, I wasn't hiding that I'm like super queer. Like, It's like, no. Anyway, but no, I felt like if I wasn't prioritizing my relationships, that I would be alone. They would leave me. And it's like sad because you kind of put people who are the closest to you on the back burner because like you assume they're always going to be there. And I learned that that wasn't the case. So I'm very grateful that after all this time, you're still here.
I love you.
But what was that like for you?
It was really hard because of course I wanted you to be happy and I wanted you to make your own mistakes, but it felt like I wasn't important in your life sometimes. And I know that wasn't true, but it's just your actions weren't portraying anything else.
Right.
So
yeah, that's what I was showing. I wasn't making you a priority. Don't cry, you're gonna make me cry. Okay. Yeah, I think that was probably the hardest thing. I felt like I had to make my partners my priority, and they came and went, and you're still here. So like obviously that was a crock of shit.
And you didn't always pick the best partners though. Like you can't put it all on you.
But to make matters worse, they weren't even cool.
They weren't even cool. They weren't nice people.
What type of taste did Hannah have in
trash?
Can you give me an example though?
Yes. You want to tell the worst stories ever? Okay. Put me on blast. I love it.
So one time, Hannah and we were in Mexico with our families. We were
teenagers. Well, I was probably like 19 actually at this point.
Were you 19?
Maybe 18 and 19.
She was 18, 19.
I am listening, but you're going to see me off camera for a second, but I'm still hearing.
So I'm 2 years younger than Hannah, and I come out of where we're staying and she's crying in the stairwell on the phone with her boyfriend at the time, and he's yelling at her and just, you have to come home, and you have to come home from your vacation so you can film me music thing for my band, and I'm not even that good, and just making her feel like trash the whole time. And she's just sobbing and she's like, I have to go home, I can't do this, and I'm just like, how do I even, what?
Leave him. And I'm like, no, I love him. We're gonna get married. I'm sorry you had to see that.
I still don't like him.
No, not at all. Yeah, so not even like to add injury to insult, like not only did I prioritize relationships over my best friend, like these people weren't even that cool. They also treated me like trash. And from a best friend's perspective, that probably really sucked.
Oh yeah, I saw him about a year after you broke up, and he was my waiter. No tip.
Damn.
Well, I think
got no chill.
Valid reason to stick them.
Yeah, you were shit to my friend. No tip for you, mister. Yeah.
You probably spit in my food.
People watching right now, if you have any questions, comments, stories you want to share with us, call the number at the bottom of the screen, 951-364-2430. I will say there was one relationship I had where my friendships suffered as a result, but that was because of my own stupidity.
Really?
I made some bad choices, which resulted in trust issues, which kind of resulted in me having to take a step back and from a lot of things, which normally I wouldn't do. But because of the choices I made, it felt it was understandable why I needed to.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of dancing around something, but I think I know where you're going with this. I mean, I might be way off, but
no, I don't know what I'm dancing. I'll just directly say it.
Go for it.
I had a partner that in the beginning of the relationship, I cheated on a bunch. And when she caught me, as I've said in the past, it really screwed me up and I felt terrible. And I would never do that again. But as a result, I had to make some lifestyle changes for obvious reasons because she couldn't trust me around certain friends. And that was totally understandable.
That sucks. No, it's just a shitty situation. I don't know. Don't cheat.
Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. Okay. That's all I have to say about that, I guess.
Just leave.
Just leave. Yeah. I mean, it might not seem that simple. Easier said than done, but
it's just so horrible to violate somebody's trust. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, what do you have to say?
Yeah, my last relationship ended because of infidelity on his part. So
Yeah,
that was fun.
Cheaters can change. I do that.
Yes.
Like, they really can.
but you don't need to wait around for them to. Like,
No, you don't.
Go live your best life while they figure their shit out.
There you go. And I agree with that. Like, my former partner should have left me when I did that, but she gave me another chance. I'll never understand why. I'm glad she did, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like not that person's fault. You know, I mean, good on them for like trying to see the good in you, but like, I don't know. Higher your standards, man. Do what your best friend would do. Like, you know, I've learned something that when Melissa gives me advice, fucking take it.
Well, I mean, she does have a degree in psychology, so I would trust that.
Typically, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a professional though, so.
But you are more qualified in life than I am.
Okay, fine.
She's like,
In a particular area.
In different areas, yeah. I think I've had way more like, I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
You read books. I'm so jealous.
Watched you.
And watched me. Yeah, I made the mistakes for her. So we were talking about like how important it is that your friends like your partner. What about your partner liking your friends? I think that's like even more important. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, if one of my like, if I'm going to get involved with somebody, they're going to have to like my inner circle. If they don't, that's just doesn't work. Like, my friends are going to have been there before and they're going to be there after.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the person that you were talking about earlier, mm-hmm. I had to have a talk with him and you, and it was like, you both are going to be in my life. Can you please get along? And you're like, I'll be civil. And I think his response was like, you should choose me. I'm going to be there. And like, look who ended up being there. Yeah. No, it's like almost a serious question. Melissa, are you drinking tea or coffee? You can tell them what you're drinking.
Neither.
But no, if I was seeing someone and they didn't like Melissa, it would be an immediate deal breaker. Like, you can have valid reasons for not liking her. Now. I mean, what now?
It would be a deal breaker now.
Yeah. Oh, not then. Now. Yeah, not then, because like I had partners who, and it usually started because you were very critical of them for very real reasons, and they didn't like that because it's like
they didn't like being called out.
They didn't like being called out, and they didn't like that I, made them actually question whether or not I should even be in that relationship. But
so I do want to read this comment.
Great. Yes.
Chili's ex alienated from all her friends. Do not recommend. It's a telltale sign of abuse if your partner tries to alienate you from your friends. And I see, to an extent, I agree with that, because that's like the same thing that like abusive groups do. They want to get you away from the people you care about. So mm-hmm. I would not trust any partner that comes in and tries to separate you from those who are most important to you.
I mean, that kind of happened to me. I mean,
mm-hmm.
it kind of, I feel responsible because I allowed it to happen.
You do want to believe in the good in people, and like, oh, this person, I love them, I care for them dearly. They're not, it's not that bad. Like, right. It's okay. You want to justify it. But I feel like the longer it takes, the harder it is to get out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely have, with that same partner, I pretty much was alienated from, I lost a lot of friends during that relationship. People asking me to come out and then them getting tired of me just rejecting. So they stopped asking. And then pretty much that whole friend group moved on without me, because this person would be like, why do you need to go out? You could just hang out with me. Or why can't I come? Because you bring me down. Because no one likes you. Yeah. Because they see what, people like, it sucks. And like, I know you watched this happen, but I've had friends as well where watching them become a different person when they're around their partner really freaking blows. I mean, when you love someone, you want to see them blossom and be their best selves, and see someone who brings out the best in them, not shut them down or diminish who they are. And I think that happened to me, and I've seen that happen to my friends. Never happens with you.
I'm just a bitch.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch. She's like, no, she got no patience. Yeah,
I try to be a patient person.
Pardon?
I try to be as patient as possible. Doesn't always work.
Yeah. No, I think I'm like patient to a fault sometimes. Not so much anymore. I'm pretty impatient. I think it's just more of like being jaded and tired. But no, you've always had a good head on your shoulders.
But there's a lot of watching happening.
Yeah, I made all the mistakes that you don't have to. I think something I was really guilty of doing was making you feel like the third wheel.
Yes.
Yeah. And something you talked about before we went live, like how do you prevent someone from feeling like the third wheel, whether it be your partner or who you bring around your friend group or your best friend when they come hang out with you and all you're doing is making out with your boyfriend.
Yeah, so I would say the advice I give is not just for partners, but just overall group settings. Like when you are talking and there's more than one person in the room, it's important to make sure everybody feels included. So, there's 5 people in the room, shift your eye contact from person to person as you're telling the story. Make sure they all feel like they're a part of the conversation. Avoid inside jokes like going up to the one person and just saying something only you two get. Typically that makes people feel excluded from the conversation. So whether you're in a relationship or just friendship group in general, I think these are good guidelines to follow.
Yeah, no, I agree. And maybe limiting PDA if you know that the other person's not going to join in.
Yeah, it's just kind of rude to do. I mean, you can hold hands or whatever, but just try and make the other people around you feel like they're welcome there and not that they're just interfering in a relationship.
Yeah, of course.
Being considerate goes a long way. And if your friends enjoy being around you and your partner and you're not overly PDA, then they're going to want to spend more time with you, so then you get more group interactions and everybody becomes more comfortable over time.
Right.
Yeah. I think some of my favorite, like this happened with my most recent ex and my current partner. I feel like you two could hang out in a room like without me and feel comfortable. And that's like been one of the most, like, what's the opposite of a red flag? It's been like really cool. It's something that I want. Like the person that I end up with, the person that I'm seeing, whatever, I would hope that like you two would just, like, even if I wasn't there, you two could get along. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be best friends, but like, I don't know. It would just be really, you're so important to me that I'm like, I want you to see why I love this person. I want you both to see like what I love so much about each other because you're going to be in my life forever. So, green flag. I love you too. Yeah. Someone says it's green flag. Thank you, Kaitlyn. Yeah, I don't know. And Thomas is really good about that. I feel like, yeah. Sometimes he like messages you, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, wait, what are you guys talking about? Why am I not in this conversation?
Where did we go? We went somewhere. It was the 3 of us.
We went to the Capitol. In California.
Yeah. And it was so much fun.
I know, just the 3 of us. And I remember thinking like, it wasn't always like this. Like I felt way more pressure to make sure that my partner was having a good time than it was like to make sure that everyone felt included. And I think there have been times when mostly you would feel left out, but I have also probably made partners feel excluded because I just didn't know how to balance that. And I think now that I'm also like a lot pickier with who I choose to be in my life, they typically get along. It's typically like a certain kind of person. But oh man, I felt like I had a story I wanted to share and it totally like went away.
It'll come back. Don't worry.
It'll come back. It's fine. But oh. Side quest here. Huge red flag is when I'm dating someone, they ask me how far I've gone with them. If you didn't catch that.
Wait, what?
I've had partners, I think more than one, and that's already too many. Go like, so like, how far have you gone with Melissa?
Ugh.
And it's just like, yeah, because we're so close, and I get that, but that's like, that's such a weird thing to ask. I mean, for anyone wondering, I mean, I don't know whether
No.
would be wondering, but I mean, no, obviously, but I've known this girl since she was 8.
You're my sister.
Yeah, it
That's
would
weird.
just feel very, very wrong. And I also think that's a horrible thing to ask. Like, just, why would you? I don't know.
Just,
That's a red flag.
yeah.
Doesn't have, don't, no, thank you.
Asking for threesomes with your best friend is
Yeah,
a no-go.
no, that's so incredibly invasive. And then it's like, I want to feel comfortable when we're all together, not like threatened that you're like trying to do my sister practically. And I know that you would be, you know, you have integrity. I can trust you, but
Aw.
You know, we don't have the same taste in men.
we really don't. And it's been amazing. It has been amazing. Literally, we've never been attracted to, unless they're like a celebrity. We're usually not attracted to the same guy.
The waiter last night.
Okay, the waiter last night was objectively beautiful. So that's
in movie star, like picking movie stars, what is Hannah's taste versus your taste?
I got this.
complete opposites, actually, still. Okay, who's mine? And I'll say yours.
Thomas Brody Sangster.
And yours is Henry Cavill. Complete. Are you Googling them?
I'm sorry?
No, I lost you for a second. Ethan!
Yeah, no, I didn't know. Dude,
A squirrel has ran across the screen.
okay.
So anyway,
for
my type. Go ahead.
So for those who don't know it, I get super disorientated when change happens. Like I can handle most things, not change. And you know, as I said before, like within 6 weeks I'm moving, so I'm a little out of sorts from that. But now the bathroom, and I know this is going to sound so stupid to some people, and I'm sorry, but the bathroom's getting remodeled, and it's just, it throws me so out of whack. I
I'm
don't
so
know how to
sorry.
explain it. Like when it comes to like things getting put in, oh, I can't.
It looks different. It looks different.
It throws me off, like everything. I'm like, oh my God, like it took me probably 1 hour to get my stuff into the other shower because I kept walking back and forth. Wait, what am I forgetting? Now I need this. Now I need, it's like, I can't, like I struggle with focus as is, but once something like that happens, it's like breaks me and it sucks.
I'm sorry. I won't do this to you again, but I think you're doing a good job, and I appreciate you letting me drag my friend on.
Oh yeah, no, I'm having fun doing this. Like this show is a great
You're just a little out of sorts.
outlet for me. I'm just very out of sorts.
Okay. All right. Have you ever had a friend who hated your partner? Actually, if you don't want to say that, you don't have to.
Sorry, say that one more time.
I'm saying, have you ever like had partners and friends who like just straight up didn't get along?
Yeah.
I have.
One situation, the friend didn't like the way the partner was treating me. So he just never liked her at all.
That's valid. That's valid. Yeah.
Concerns were valid.
I haven't liked all of your exes.
But go for it. Talk about that.
We have a
I'm not
caller.
friends with any of them.
We have a caller.
We have a caller.
Yay!
Okay, so
Okay.
all right, we've
Keep
got
going out.
Shane, him, from Texas. What is going on, dude?
What's going on? This is I'm talking with Ethan and Jenna.
Ethan and Hannah.
No, this
Oh, I'm
isn't
sorry,
Ethan
it's a
and
friend.
Jenna.
Okay.
That's okay. This is
I
Hannah
just
and my
wanted
friend
to go to
Melissa's here.
your shows. Okay. Yeah, no, I saw Ethan. This is Shane Isgrig calling. We're friends on Facebook. I saw your post and you were talking about the topic for the show. You were talking about maintaining friendships and relationships, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm learning a lot about this specifically right now, and I'll give you a little background on why that is. So I'm 20. I just turned 23 years old recently, and I'm in my
Happy
first
birthday.
relationship.
Your first
we've been together
relationship.
for, like, I'm gonna say. I'm sorry. Did you say something?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So we've been together for like 10 months. For circumstantial reasons, she moved in right away. I guess the point is that we've ever since we've been together, we have been spending almost like all of our time together, right?
Yeah.
And we're polyamorous, so she just recently, I don't know if I'd say moved back in. She lives with both of us, but she just recently was able to start seeing her other partner again, right? So I'm just now figuring out, now that I'm seeing occasionally a friend or two every like week or so, that I haven't really been maintaining my friendships. And balance is a very important thing, because obviously if you only hang out with your friends, then you're going to make your partner feel neglected, right? But I feel like a lot of us forget about the fact that friendships are a relationship too.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to all remember that we need to be checking on our friends regularly as well. You know, how's their mental health doing? What are they going through? Like, what happened to them recently? What's going on in their life, right?
Yeah.
And I guess for me, when she comes back, I'm still figuring out like, I guess like self pointers on like, all right, what's a boundary I could set for like when I go out with a friend to make sure I'm not spending the whole day without her, or like letting her know in advance, because we're both neurodivergent. I'm autistic. I have Asperger's, and she has ADHD. So communication issues can happen. But
Right.
what are some pointers you would have for balancing those friendships and relationships? Like how do you figure out what's the criteria you have for establishing if you're too far on one side, between focusing too much on your relationship and focusing too much on your friendships?
That's a really good question, because I don't know if I have like a specific criteria that I follow. I mean, it's something that I've kind of had to learn how to do. Ethan, did you have something to say? Feel free to jump in at
That's
any time.
exactly what I was thinking. I'm trying to go in my head and think like how I evaluate how I'm actually balancing my friendships and relationships. And I would say it kind of changes over time, because obviously as you become closer with a partner, you move in, your relationship develops, you are going to put more focus on that partnership. But I still like usually
Right.
like once a week, I always make sure I'm going over to my best friend's place and we play video games or hang out. I make sure it doesn't come few and far between. I actually do talk to him every single day. So I would say just making sure they are a part of your life, but also understanding that sometimes you can go a week without talking, and that doesn't have to be a big deal. Like you can just pick up right where you left off.
Correct. Yeah, sometimes you need to. Some friends, I guess, you only talk to a few times a year. But if you go from hanging out with somebody like almost every day or a few times a week, and then all of a sudden you realize you're like, oh, wait, we didn't hang out for a few months. I haven't seen you, I haven't even checked on you, kind of thing. Because I realized, like, I have a friend who recently came out as bisexual, and
Heyo.
having gay relatives, he didn't experience acceptance from like really anyone. Like everyone was kind of awkward about him coming out, except for me, right? Which is like, okay, I'm glad to be your accepting friend, but if I'm the only accepting friend you have, I feel like shit that I wasn't like there and in your life and around you when that was happening, So I guess for me, it comes down to paying attention to how people, I guess how they seem when you do see them. Like if your partner seems a little bit sad, maybe the reason could be that you aren't spending enough time together, and inquire about it. I'm still figuring out, I guess now that I think about it, I'm asking you almost what you were asking as a show topic. I think maybe you were looking for answers more than people asking the same question.
No, I mean, like I really, I think you put it perfectly. I mean, you mentioned that you have struggles with communication at times, but the fact that you're at least trying to establish balance is like a huge step, a huge green flag. I'm learning that's a thing. Opposite of a red flag, it's a good step in the right direction. And I lost my train of thought, but and you made me think of something. If your friend or your partner is feeling kind of sad, I mean, maybe you do need to at times nurture one relationship over the other for a certain amount of time. But I think checking in is important, and also not becoming too reliant on one relationship. I mean, I rely on you a crap ton, but
less so now.
Yeah, less so now.
But that came with time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's all kind of a learning experience, and it's different for everyone, but at the same time, it's still so important. I mean, I think the key factors and key criteria is communication and just making sure that you feel like there's balance. You feel like you are making time for one or the other, and sometimes that means nurturing one or the other if you feel like they need it. I mean, sometimes you're completely fine on your own, Melissa, and sometimes I need to just give you a little more TLC. And
something as simple as sending a
like, it almost gives you, like, the fact that having more friends comes with this chore of having to balance these relationships out. It almost makes it like pro to having less friends, because every friendship is another relationship that you have to put some effort, energy into. And we're a social species, so I'm not here saying like everybody isolate, don't make friends. Like, we need to keep socializing.
Right.
But I think that anytime you feel, if anybody ever feels like they lack friends, I know being autistic, I used to experience that a lot. I guess for anyone in that position, maybe stop and consider the fact that having as few relationships as you have makes it easier to maintain the ones that you do have.
Right. I want to point something out really quick. Chianti and Fava Bean says, Hannah, you probably know this, but people on the autistic spectrum can find it difficult to notice when people are sad / happy / upset / angry, etc. We can have difficulties noticing nonverbal cues. And I'm sorry for not making that more inclusive in what I was saying, because you're absolutely right. So, I mean, I can't really speak on that because I'm not, as far as I know, on the spectrum. So I can only go off, what I would do. But I hope that, I mean, since Shane, if you feel comfortable, like, can you speak on that at all?
Yeah, no, there definitely, I would say there definitely have been times where my partner thought that I lacked empathy because I simply didn't pick up on something. Like,
Got it.
Like she might, one time we went to my mom's for, I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, and she said something about like, okay, well, I'll be in the room watching anime or whatever, and like kind of asked me if I wanted to be in the room or be outside or in the living room. And I was, I just kind of like felt like being in the room outside. I don't know how to explain it.
You just
and
felt
my
like
mom
chilling.
kind of like pointed out to me, she was like, I think that she was trying to hang out with you right now, and she just asked if you wanted to hang out, and you blew her off and you didn't even realize it. And I realized it was like, okay, I might come off as being rejecting when really it's like a room environment that I just kind of feel like being in or something. So yeah, I would say like anyone with autism or ADHD would probably, mostly with autism, would probably be able to vouch for that. Communication barriers are there. If you're going to date someone who's autistic, you need to recognize the fact that they might not pick up on things you're hoping they'll pick up on. If it's a nonverbal cue, they're very likely to miss it. I would definitely, having Asperger's would fall into that category.
So what would be, Shane, a better way to effectively communicate your feelings to someone with autism?
What kind of feelings particularly?
Well, like when you say you can't pick up on the sorry, what was the what did you call them?
On like the nonverbal cues. If I could jump in really quick. Oh, no, actually, good.
Oh man, the Aspie's biggest enemy, nonverbal cues. be a better way to communicate.
So would you
I
say
guess,
you have to be more direct about everything? And you can't use
yes,
like normal
I guess,
subtleties?
yeah, I guess if you dated an autistic person, it's important to know that being direct is very important. Being clear with your words is very important. Some people are like, wait a minute, you know, some people who don't know a lot about autism, if they see that you're not like severely disabled and find out you're autistic, they're like, what? Well, the thing about, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, that's fine. It happens all the time here.
Yeah.
If I may, kind of an example, a story that my mom likes to tell, because we're pretty sure that my brother may have Asperger's or some form of autism, but she would tell my mom, we'd get ready for a trip, and my mom would tell my brother and I, go pack. I would come downstairs with a little hat, all different, and my whole bag packed, and something to do for the drive over. My brother would come down with a pair of socks. So instead of, she had to learn with him, like, instead of saying, hey, go pack, she would have to say, like, go make sure you have this, this, this. So we would have to learn with my brother to be very direct with what we're asking him to do. Saying something like trying to drop hints doesn't work with him. Like, for example, I think you said your partner or whomever was saying, oh, I'm going to go hang out in this room. And really that was an invitation to go hang out with them. But you heard, okay, I'm going to go. Yeah. You know, instead they should have just clearly asked, hey, I'd like to hang out with you in this room.
I'd like to hang out with you. It's a big thing. It's pretty similar. One example of, oh my God, I remembered what I was going to say before I lost my train of thought. Thank you.
Yes.
I was going to say some people find it like surprising that I'm autistic because they're like, you're really good with words. I'm like, yeah, but that's like all I'm good with. When somebody communicates something, we could fail to pick up on it. And one really good example that's similar to the one like we were just discussing is sometimes autistic people might fail to pick up on something being a request. So someone might be like, hey, would you like to have a seat? And no, thanks. I feel like standing. And we don't realize like, oh, that person was actively asking me to sit down.
Okay.
Of course, to us, we're just kind of like, I don't know why you neurotypical people can't just ask us to sit down, but you know, whatever.
Let me ask you this. Let's say, all right, in a situation where, okay, like when I would DJ, there would be a lot of people who would try and crowd me and want to be on stage. And, you know, without being rude, I try and use like nonverbal cues, like not paying as much attention, like, okay, I'm busy right now, saying things like that. If you were, so in your situation, how would I effectively say that to you without being rude, that I don't want you to be on stage with me?
Well, it seems like the example you just gave of what you would say. I mean, if you said it like that, if you were like, hey, you know, I don't want to be rude, I'm really busy right now, I have a lot going on. That would be enough for me. I can't speak for all autistic people, of course, but okay. Yeah, I guess if you were to say like, if you like, yeah, just verbal communication, you know, someone seems to not be picking up on you, sort of giving hints that you're busy, maybe specifically tell them like, hey, I'm doing something right now. If you want to go as far as tell them like, you know, nothing personal, I don't have an issue with you, I'm not mad at you or anything, I just am really busy right now. And I should mention for any autistic people listening that this is a two-way problem, and we sometimes have to communicate to other people too what's going on, because autistic people sometimes don't feel like talking, which is fine. But if you have ADHD, this could just be your friend or your roommate, doesn't have to be your partner. If you are just sitting with someone and you're not talking, people tend to think you're mad at them. The autistic person might just not be in the mood to talk. But the problem is, you know, communicate to people that you're not mad at them. So like both ways, I guess people should work on verbal communication more, whether they be autistic or neurotypical.
I love this. I love this.
I know this is a great learning opportunity for all of us. And I don't know if you can see the comments right now, Shane, but Chianti and Fava Beans is relating to you hard because they are also autistic, and they want to give you a big autistic non-hug, is what he said.
Well, I would do a social distance hug, which is slightly superior to a non-hug. Yeah, that's.
I really appreciate your. Oh, go ahead.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for your insight. It's been
Sorry, there's a delay between the phone and the host, so occasionally we are going to talk over each other. Apologies.
Yep, I have done call-in shows from the other end. I know what it's like. All right, well, I know that you guys are going to need to move on to other callers, so I'll get going. It was good to talk to you. This conversation's given me, I guess, a little more clarity and some thoughts I was already having, which is just as beneficial as having new thoughts themselves, really. Well,
sweet.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one.
I feel like I really benefited from that.
Yeah, I actually feel kind of bad. I don't think we contributed much to that conversation.
I mean, Shane is awesome, and I'd love to have him call back sometime because that was
enlightening.
Yeah, enlightening is a really good way to put it. For real. You were going to say something about checking in with your friends and like a simple way to do that or a way you could just kind of help maintain. Do you remember what you were going to say?
Especially like with this year and COVID and
all of it
that's happened. I do feel like I've lost touch with a lot of my friends, and sometimes I'll sit down and I'll just be like, who haven't I heard from in a while? And I'll just send them a quick little message. Hey, I love you. I'm thinking of you. Hope you're having a good day. And every single time I've always gotten a response back. Thank you so much. I miss you too. We'll talk soon. And it's just quick, easy, and
it goes a long way.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all need a little bit of love, especially in the world that we're living in.
Yeah, right now, definitely. No, Shane, you were fantastic.
Yeah, you had a lot of good input to where I was like, well, I don't even know if I could effectively answer his question, but yeah, it was a good conversation.
Yeah, it really was.
We do have another caller.
Okay.
Mercy from California, conflict with brothers and boyfriend. Is that right?
Ooh.
Yes.
So what happened?
Well, there's been a lot of tension between my brothers and my boyfriend lately because my brothers don't understand that my boyfriend is a lot more of an introvert than they are. But the most recent conflict that I'm still thinking about is when my mom got me and my brother some balloons for our birthday because it was recent, and I accidentally left them at her house, and my brother was like, "Go get the balloons right now! Can't wait until tomorrow." And I was like, "It's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna get to it." And my boyfriend was taking my side, and he understood my frustration too. But and me and my brothers were in a conversation, a phone call, and my boyfriend just started laughing in the background because of the ridiculousness of the whole balloon situation, and that caused a massive conflict between them.
Oh no!
I'm sorry to hear that.
Go ahead, Melissa.
I feel like there might be something more going on than just the balloons. Like what they're balloons.
Yeah, it seems like there might be an underlying something else. Or the balloons were just a huge deal for some reason. I'm having trouble understanding. I mean, I'm right there with you. That seems like not a big deal.
I know. He just made a very large deal out of it, and both me and my boyfriend were like, "What's up? Why is this such a big deal?"
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, like I'd be so panicked if my boyfriend was like laughing in the background while I was fighting with my family. I'd be like, please,
no.
please. Like, I know it's ridiculous, but please. But like, I also don't blame him because that does sound ridiculous. Like, I'm having trouble, like, I'm having trouble trying to conjure up some advice because it just seems like either there's an underlying issue or they were really super upset over balloons.
So me personally, I find the best way to resolve issues is to be very, very clear and effective in your communication, in a sense like, hey, like, sit with your brother. What's wrong? What's upsetting you? Sit with your boyfriend. Hey, what is directly, or what do you not like about this person? What's bothering you? And get them to just say it. And then hopefully from there you can resolve it. Sorry, that's what I would do. But do as you please. I hate giving advice because I don't want to be like, hey, do this.
Right.
But that's
It could
like
be a good idea.
I handle things in the most direct way possible. Like, I want to cut out the middlemen. I want to figure out the problem and talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had more to contribute because it just sounds like it needs to be a conversation. Like, what's really going on here? And I think
it's hard because my brothers view him as rude, but he's never come off like that with me, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a totally different vibe, I guess. Maybe
they're just protective. I don't know. It's hard to say without being in the situation and knowing them. Yeah, the best I could say would be to try and talk to them and ask if there are any issues they haven't brought up.
And when you do have this conversation, it's important not to get angry, upset, or accusatory, because that's when you're going to get somebody being very defensive. And make sure to ask clarifying questions.
Yes.
No yes or no answers, because those do not help you.
I'm learning something.
I like that. I agree. Like, you want to get to the point or the meat of it and be super, super clear, and don't let any, God, I'm so bad at communicating right now.
Because you're talking to too many people at once.
Don't leave any room for error. That's, try and, I don't know. That's all I got. I apologize. I'm so disoriented right now. I can't focus my thoughts or anything.
I hope this helps, though. I mean,
Yes.
It sounds like really this needs to be something that's sat down and clarified. And I think hopefully, can be resolved. And I think your boyfriend shouldn't be blamed for taking your side. I mean, if you were being ridiculous, then yeah, maybe. But it sounds like
not the case.
Not the case.
Yeah, it was it was really hard because my older brother also made a big deal out of it after he heard about the phone call with my twin brother and my boyfriend, and he basically thought that it was really rude and like disrespectful and just a bunch of other things that I couldn't relate to. I couldn't understand his perspective at all.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. It sounds like there's definitely something else going on here that needs to be addressed. Yes.
So that's what we would recommend, Mercy. I hope that helps. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even think about
you too.
Family members who don't get along with your partner. That's like a whole nother thing.
That could be a segment in itself.
Really, seriously.
So what other juice can you spill on Hannah?
Ooh. I don't know.
Nothing's off limits, Melissa.
Oh no.
Do it.
You can talk about my bad taste in anything. I think she definitely told like the worst story that she had to like witness.
Yeah.
Me crying in a stairwell saying I have to leave my vacation early because my ex needed me to film a video audition.
It's not that good.
We're on good terms now.
What were we talking about earlier when we were getting ready?
Why you shouldn't date your friends? Was that it?
Oh no, we were talking about your exes.
My exes in particular. Okay, we talked about the ones who asked if we ever hooked up, the ones who were incredibly controlling. I'm trying to think. I'm like, should I list names? Like,
I don't want to list names.
just to like get you to like jog your memory. She's liked the past 2 ones.
Yeah, because they've actually been nice.
I've also gotten a lot older.
Yes.
So that's good. Yeah, you can talk about that one.
Well, you start and then I'll comment.
Let's not talk about that one in case there's actually a miscommunication going on right now and you're thinking.
No, she typed it to me.
Oh.
I don't know. Like what I mean, I thought our relationship was okay. What was so bad about it?
He just made you feel worthless.
Really? That's great because I don't remember, but you do. Do you have any like examples for me?
Anything you liked, he put down. Your opinion was never correct, never good enough.
I'm so glad I don't remember this.
Yeah, I think you blacked out all of it.
I blacked out and dated this person who was terrible to me, apparently. And you had to watch all of it. I'm sorry. I'll make better choices in the future.
You have been. It's okay.
Thank you.
Kaitlyn Beyond says, my boyfriend took my side in a family disagreement and they loved him more for it later. That's awesome.
Great.
Nice.
I mean, I would assume they would, unless you like are being the problem.
And to real quick to what Melissa was saying about your former partner. Partners are supposed to compliment you and build you up and not like bring you down. They should be your biggest supporter, like talking about how awesome you are regularly and helping you build your confidence. Don't waste your time on anybody who is not going to do that. If somebody is dragging you down or being mentally abusive or physically abusive, you deserve better and you should not stay with that person.
Agreed. Yeah. Man, I really blocked out that like entire relationship.
Are you thinking about it now?
I don't. I genuinely am like, it wasn't that bad. But like,
see, but that's nostalgia. She's a dirty liar.
I want this on a shirt. Melissa often tells me, do not listen to nostalgia. She's a dirty liar. And anytime I'm like, oh, but like, wasn't this great? Weren't they great? No, I was there, bitch. So, I don't know.
Well,
I'm waiting for you because I can tell you're distracted.
I was letting the screener know we could drop the line since it's
got it
9:58. One of these days I will actually like be able to have a producer so that way I can focus 100% solely on the conversation.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. I really appreciate all the work you do simultaneously each and every show. Like, if you guys don't know, Ethan is like a fucking hustler. Like, he does a lot simultaneously all the time, never stops. This man is nonstop. She just showed me Hamilton and I can't get over it. Go watch it.
I've never seen it before.
If you like musicals, you will ugly cry. Anyway.
But the Justice League Zack Snyder cut came out today, so I will be watching that tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
it has Henry Cavill.
I thought it was Cavill. Okay,
it's like travel.
Okay, her boyfriend is Henry Cavill. Mine's Thomas Brody Sangster. This has been the pickup line. Melissa, thank you for joining us.
I didn't get to say mine. Paul Walker.
Who's yours?
My male choice, dude. Like Paul Walker. He's a sexy dude.
Okay, well, for doing that, Megan Fox.
Really?
Oh, I love Megan Fox so much I could cry.
All right. Well, mine is Elliot Page. I love Elliot. Oh my god. And then also Avril Lavigne and Sandra Bullock. Oh, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. I like that's not like normal common choice for our. Actually, we're not in the same generation.
Kate Beckinsale. She's beautiful.
Yes. Dude,
she's stunning.
Okay, I don't like a lot of mushy gushy movies, but I do like Serendipity with Kate Beckinsale and John. John Cusack. It is a great movie. It's all about like signs bringing them together. And even though I'm a non-believer, it's still a super cool movie.
Aww. It's a movie. You don't have to. It's magic. Movie magic, man.
Exactly.
Well,
Speaking of Hannah, I hear that you've been booked on another show.
I have. Oh yeah. Okay. It's not
You
for a
didn't
while.
tell me.
I'm I'm know. Since I'm getting all of these freaking connections because of you. I'm so grateful, but I need to like actually like properly thank you and tell you that these things are going on in my life.
Thank me. I want you just to tell me so I can be like, oh my God, yay, and be happy with you.
Okay, sorry. Well, right now you can do that for me. So, I'm going on Neil 604 Atheist channel on April 10th. I think we're in different time zones though, so I don't know the exact time, but I'll see you guys next week with more information. But I don't know if we're doing like a deconversion story bit, but that'll be a lot of fun. I met Neil at Faithless Forum last time, not last year because it didn't happen. He's a chill dude, so I feel like I'm growing up in the community. I get to do all these things.
I know, it's so awesome. So I gotta and here's why. I gotta make sure myself and some other people are available, because after, I don't know if you know, after the deconversion story, you have to do the after party.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm being, what's the word when you're like properly being brought into a group?
Coming out.
I did that last night, but yay me. And
Launched into society.
no, it's like a specific word. Not a confirmation. Whatever. I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing that. So the show's at 5 p.m. Pacific. Hannah Vaughn.
You sure?
7
p.m. Sure. That's what it says. Thank you, IQ. Yeah, I'll be on Neil's channel.
And let me thank my top tier patrons real quick. Cindy Plaza, Kenneth, Leonard, Kathy Letto, JumpandShoot, Oz, Secular, Rarity, Chianti, and Fava Beans, Philip Leitch, Kaitlyn Beyond, Toast. All of you are awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Hannah, anything else?
I'm just so happy. I'm in town. I'm going to see the love of my life. Yay. That's me.
Yeah. Take that, Thomas.
Well, I tell him that too, so sorry. You're like a little special. No, but seriously, I would die for this woman. Thank you for being by my side, even though I've not always been a great friend. Here's to learning and growing. And
I think it's bad luck to cheers with nothing in your glass.
Okay, well then just thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Ethan.
Have a good one.
Bye.